list, which are women that they love, they admire, they respect, women of influence, women anywhere in their life. You know, give them examples, because sometimes they don't know. So, you know, maybe it's you really love your pastor's wife. Maybe it's, you know, your bank executive. Maybe it's, you know, just give them ideas. Head of PTA, doesn't matter. Women in a leadership position, possibly, and the leadership position could be they're a really great leader of their household, right? But just women of integrity. Okay, so they're making that list. What is that? I get excited, and I just start joking. Okay. I have a funny story to tell you all later. Okay. Okay, so then they make that list, and I tell them, I want you to tell me why you chose them. Just real brief description. Sometimes you'll get long descriptions, just real brief. And her number. And then I will go through and I will text everybody. And it's the same script that I text them, but all I'm saying is, you know, hey, Nikki, you don't know me, but we have a personal friend. It's Diana Sumter, and she is working on some leadership training. I'm her leadership coach in Mary Kay, and I would love to have you help us with that training. Do you have 20 minutes? And this is up to you if you want to do it in person or on the phone, okay? If you have 20 minutes and we can get together. If it's coffee, you're going to probably go a little longer than 20 minutes, so adjust for that. But you have 20 minutes on the phone that we can have the next day or two to help with this leadership training. Okay, so I told you that wasn't going to come out the same every time. So the gist of it, leadership, I'm helping her with some training. You're helping us with some training. And I text them, and even if I don't hear back, usually I do hear back because these are women of integrity. If I don't hear back, I will text them again, and then I'll let the consultant know, hey, I didn't hear back from just let her know I am a real person, and see if you can book the appointment. And okay, so I've gotten her schedule, and I've gotten my schedule over the next 48 hours. And I mesh those two together, and I go, okay, so from 7 to 9 tonight, we can do some back-to-back phone calls. And I do book them 30 minutes apart, because if they have questions and things like that. Okay, so the idea is that what you're going to kind of do is you're going to kind of interview the consultant on the phone with her. So you are training her and leading her and bringing her up, right? And I don't go through the whole Mary Kay story, okay, because you only have a short amount of time. But this is what I start with. I get them on the phone and I say, okay, so Nikki said, okay, sure. Sometimes they're like, okay. We're like, okay, do you have 20 minutes tonight at 7 p.m.? Would that work for you? She's like, yep. Okay, great. Then I just tell them, we will call you. We will call you at 7, and we three-way her in, okay? So I try to teach my consultant. I teach Diana how to do the three-way call, because hopefully she knows her number and she'll pick up the phone. Sometimes that's a training in itself. Okay, so we three-way call her in, and I say, Nikki, thank you so much for doing this training with Diana and I. And let me tell you what this is I've asked her to give me some names of some women she really respects. And you were on that list, and here's why. Here's what she said about you. So you're building her up right away, right? People she admires, and here's why, so this is what she told me about you. She told me that you were a mama, and that you work in the corporate world, and that you're very good at what you do. Tell me a little bit more about you. So you open up that opportunity for her to tell about herself. And then I go into and I say, Nikki, tell me what you know about Mary Kay. What you know about any part of it. And then I go into, here are just some real quick facts about Mary Kay, and we're going to turn it over to Diana. Okay, so, and then I just do the 5 quick facts. You guys go through the 5 quick facts. This is literally, we make a 50% profit on our sales. That we do not have monthly sales quotas. That we do not have territories. That we have a $100 starter kit. That's all it costs to get started in Mary Kay. And this is what I love to talk to you about, because I always say, and this is one you really probably don't know, is about our buyback policy. And I just briefly go into, if somebody starts a Mary Kay business and they change their mind and they decide not to do Mary Kay anymore within a year, Mary Kay will buy back their product at 90% of the value. So I feel like putting that insurance policy out there right away is really powerful, especially for a business-minded woman. Okay, so then I go, okay, so those are some quick facts about the company. Now, Diana, you are up, girl. It is your turn. So here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to ask you some questions. I just want you to answer honestly. And you guys, this is sometimes a little a little crazy, okay? So sometimes you're like, oh, that was fun. Let's do some coaching in between before the next one, which is good, though. I mean, really, you're usually impressed by what they have to say. So the first question I ask her, these are real simple, is, Diana, tell Nikki and I why you originally started your Mary Kay business. What made you get into Mary Kay originally? And so she answers, and then you say, okay, tell us why you're still working your Mary Kay business. Because often those are very different. The third question is, tell me what has surprised you the most about Mary Kay. That one's always really powerful. And then the last one, this is usually the last one, is, Diana, tell us what you're looking forward to the most as you move up into leadership. Now, if she happens to, so let's say Diana has a similar family situation as Nikki, then I might go ahead and add in one last question. I might say, what does your husband think? Especially if I know he's real supportive or whatever. Tell us what your husband thinks about your Mary Kay business. Or what a blessing it's been to your family. What it has done for your family. Try not to be so leading. You know, what a blessing it's been. Okay, so tell us only wonderful things. But she usually does a phenomenal job. And I do, when I say, tell me what you know about Mary Kay, and that this is where, backing up just a little bit, I do tell Nikki, the one that's listening, I say, Nikki, part of her training is for you to ask questions. So as she's speaking, if you can think of some questions to ask her, drill her, that'd be great. You know, and here's the thing, they ask phenomenal questions.
Wow.
Like, I get questions out of these women I've never gotten before. So it is amazing. You know, how do you stay motivated? How do you, you know, sometimes they'll ask about, well, where do you find your clientele? That's a very common question, but staying motivated and staying others focused, and I mean, you can just tell these women have vision. So, and then I close them, right? Because I'm teaching her how to do that. So I just say, okay, Nikki, so, you know, you've asked your questions and stuff like that, and Diana, and I praise Diana, you did a phenomenal job. That is so brilliant, and I learned something new about you. You know, I didn't know this, or whatever. So Nikki, thank you so much for participating. That is the end of our training. But let me ask you, would you ever, in a million years, consider doing Mary Kay yourself? And then and this is good to teach the consultant to be quiet, and I let her answer. And again, I'm always surprised by how many people have interest in it. And so then I just, you know, I find, you know, we always do a sign-on bonus or whatever, and I, you know, figure out the follow-up, or can we get you signed up right now, or, you know, that kind of thing. So just close like we normally would close. And then when I can end that call or coffee or whatever, then I've got time with Diana where I can go, okay, I love that you talked about this. This was brilliant. This is so awesome. I love how you honed in on the fact that her family is so important to her, and you talked about the benefits of that. You know, so things like that. And then, you know, of course, I'm sandwiching it, and I go, you know what? We went over our time a little bit. We always want to be conscious of that. So just be careful of your, you know, when you're answering, just be careful to be very poignant in your answers and things like that. So you're grooming her, right? And you tell her that I'm grooming you for leadership. And she's blessed to be groomed by you. So, and then that's pretty much how I do that, and that's how we close them, and we, you know, and then you got your hands on all of that too, which is great. So what questions do you guys have on that? First